Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll start that whole new series that I was mentioning about. This one involving going back again to my archives and bringing up some of your past suggestions. I had a fantastic time last time doing these, and so I decided again to do them a whole new series, just another 5 suggestions. This one stood out. It was suggested sometime early last year, because when I was looking at it, it seemed like it was something straight out of a bad sci-fi movie, like Sci-Fi the Channel movie. I love those movies, by the way. I say that in jest. Those bad movies, like when you have like Shark Octopus, or when you have Shark-a-Lanch, and of course those tornado sharks that are now infamous. So when I was reading this information, that's what it definitely seemed like. Like it was a mishmash of several animals into one place, and that's why I definitely wanted to share it here. So it has to do with a creature that's only had one single appearance ever, and it was only witnessed by pretty much 2 people in this world, and that's it. No other known existence of it, no other known sighting of it. So it's very rare. I don't have much info to talk about here, but I'll try to share as much as I can. And it has to do with the very strange mishmash creature known as, I guess colloquially, Octo-Squatch, which you're looking at a picture of here. So when you hear the words Octo-Squatch, what does that sound like? It sounds like someone took an octopus and a Sasquatch, put them in the blender, and then this is the result, because that's exactly what it was. Basically what you're looking at and what was described was a 3 to 4 foot tall octopus that somehow was standing. Octopuses, can stand, but very hard to do so outside of water. But here, this thing was clearly out of water, and there it was moving around using its legs, its octopus-like legs, to walk around. But its most distinctive feature was a shaggy coat of quote-unquote rust-colored hair. So that's why it's been colloquially termed as the Octo-Squatch, because it's pretty much a combination of a Sasquatch, the ones you and I know as one of the most famous cryptids, with the body of an octopus. So here's what happens. The only known existence, again, you have to go back to the summer of 1961. And there was a place that was called the Basque Mountains, somewhere in the Spanish province of some place called Vizcaya. I don't know the exact location associated with that, but it happened this instance at 11 p.m. there. So there was a guy and his partner that were there at work, or doing some kind of late work. The guy's name, the main one, was Archimedes Sanchez. He was driving a truck, again, along with his partner. And as they were doing so, 11 p.m., clearly in the dead of night, they were able to ride on this road near a location called Puerto de Barazar. They were about to reach their destination to unload the stuff they had in their truck, and then that's when their truck's high beams probably they had them on high beams because it's the dead of night again, and so out there in the wild or out there in the open, they want to make sure nothing is necessarily hit while they're driving, or nothing impedes their driving, safe driving in other words. And that was when their high beams caught something that they have never seen before. They saw this thing right in the middle of the road. This guy Sanchez slammed his brakes hard as he could, because whatever this thing was, it was there, but it was not moving. It was certainly saw them, because the way he described it after he was witnessing what this creature looked like in amazement, it used one of its octopus legs, octopus arms, to shield its eyes from the high beams. So that definitely denotes that this thing, with its round glowing eyes, absolutely saw them, but it was there, stuck. You're unwilling to move is a better set of words, and it was almost like a standoff. And from the guy's perspective, they were just amazed. Like, obviously, like, this thing was something they've never seen at all before, and the high beams definitely hitting it. They saw what they saw. That's what made it also interesting, this story, was the fact that so many other cryptid encounters, especially in the dead of night, there's no real great illumination. Maybe there's some moonlight that could help provide some of the lighting. But no, in this case, you had a truck with a very strong set of high beams, so there was no question about what they were looking at. And from this thing cryptid's perspective, it probably just saw the very strong high beams, and almost like a deer in headlights, it just stood completely still, probably never encountering anything like a truck before. So the standoff happens for several more minutes. So whatever this thing was, it was just staying there, and then they were staying there. Finally, it went for the guy's perspective, it went from amazement to a little bit of fear, because now they don't know what they were dealing with. They wanted to truly get out of there, and so this guy Sanchez, he ordered his partner to try to get out and do something, like either hit it with a jackhammer or throw something at it. Clearly, though, the partner smartly said no. He's not going to go at it all, and this guy Sanchez neither. Both of them decided to just stay there. And then they decided also maybe they would try to intimidate it to get out of the way, because again, it was not moving from its location. So for a little while, Sanchez started to use his truck almost like as I guess you could call it as a ramming vehicle of sorts, because he put it in reverse and then drove straight towards this thing, trying to make it sure it got out of its way. But he would stop because it would not move. He didn't want to harm it at the same time. He just wanted it to get out of its way, because thus far it has not shown any clear aggression. He wasn't just going to outright kill it. So he stopped, and then he would do the reverse, and then he would move forward again, but this thing would not move. It seemed like finally the standoff finished when ironically another truck passed by that area, maybe another similar truck with the same route and the same destination. I don't know if it was passing by the opposite way or if it was going the same way, but either way, this truck did not slow down. It did not see this thing. It just simply went through. It didn't hit anybody. It just most likely went through the other lane. And that's when those guys realized that was it. Nothing was going to happen. This thing did not move, even in the presence of the other truck. So finally, they just decided to either. It's kind of hard to read it, but my understanding was it made it seem like they just went around it, or they put it in reverse and then found their another destination, another way to their destination outright. And that was it. That was the only encounter. By the time Sanchez, I guess, found some of his comrades and decided to showcase his story to them, I don't know if they were believing him. Some people still to this day cite this off as a hoax, but whenever they tried to go back and see, probably during the day, of course, if there was any evidence of this creature, of this Octo-Squatch, there was nothing at all. And that's it. To this day, there has been no single bit of evidence of any encounter of this creature at all several decades later. So what do you think this thing was, this Octo-Squatch? Was it truly a one-of-a-kind cryptid? Was it a lost monster of some sort? Was it something otherworldly, another alien of some sort that somehow visited Earth? Who knows? It'll be fascinating to hear what your take on this is. If anyone has any more information too, on already the limited info that's on this cryptid, if anyone can share anything else, that would be really great to hear too. So, alright everybody, I'm going to do again several more videos based on your past suggestions, so be on the lookout for that soon. Thanks everybody, take care.